Hello everyone. We're going to be leveling up a Blood Elf Warlock today in the Blood Elf starting zone. It's one of my favorites. I haven't leveled here in forever, but we're going to see how much we remember. I used to level up all of my Horde characters here. If they weren't Blood Elves, I would bring them over and do as many of these quests as possible because it was one of my favorite zones. It's really colorful. Very autumn, fall looking. The Burning Crusade was one of my favorite expansions. I started playing World of Warcraft when Classic came out and had a lot of fun. And then when Burning Crusade came out, I played it non-stop. I played a Blood Elf Mage and also a Human Priest, but mostly my Blood Elf Mage. I had a lot of fun leveling him up. I think I leveled him as Frost Spec, and then once I got to Outland and got to level 64, I switched to Arcane, because at level 64 you get Arcane Blast, which is one of their main spells that they use, and it was really good. I had a lot of fun with that guy. I also played a Human Priest. I think she was Holy and Discipline Spect. I didn't do much raiding with both of them. I think the most raiding I did was Corazon, which to this day is one of my favorite raids. It was really creative, and all of the bosses were a lot of fun. The opera event was always my favorite. I really enjoyed it. All three of the events you could get were Little Red Riding Hood, The Wizard of Oz, or Romeo and Juliet. And they were all really fun. They had different types of mechanics and different things you had to do. And you didn't know which one you were going to get until you started the event. So that was kind of neat. We got to level 2. So we're going to go turn this quest in and see if our trainer has anything new for us to train. I have a new belt, a worm sash, warlock training. The trainer should be right in here. Summoner Telelarian. A quest so we can learn how to summon our first demon. Immolate, which is our first damage over time spell. Well, Watcher Solonian. We can turn that quest in, and then we'll take these two new ones. These new starting zones have a lot of quests in them, which is nice. I think that they did a good job making them. They're much more streamlined, I think, than the original race's starting zones. I think we've got to use our racial ability, so we're going to use it on some of the trees that we have to fight, which I think are nearby. I think they're over at the other platform. Yeah, right here. The feral tenders. So we're going to make sure to mana tap them before we kill them. Arcane Sliver. I really liked the starting zones for the Draenei as well. I was thinking about making one of those instead of this guy, but I may save them for another video. Kind of like how this video, or this zone, is really bright and colorful. The Draenei zone it's a little bit darker, the colors, but it's beautiful as well. Blood Elves and Draenei are some of my favorite races. I need some mana, so we're going to use Arcane Torrent to get a little bit of mana back. And then finish this guy off. There's not really any, I guess there's not a lot of other players leveling up, at least in this zone right now. I remember when I made my first Blood Elf character when the expansion first came out back in 2007. I made a Blood Elf priest named Kalinaria, and she was going to be Shadow's Spec. And I remember there were so many people that were playing, like there were Blood Elves everywhere. So many people that opening night, and really for months and months after that, it was an incredibly popular expansion. When this expansion came out, they made leveling a little bit quicker, I think, starting from like level 20 all the way up to 60. I think it was something like a 10 or 15% decrease in the amount of experience that was required to level, which was nice. Leveling from 1 to 60 in Classic was a lot, and it still is a lot, but it's not as bad as it once was. And a lot of people just enjoy leveling up. It's kind of a fun part of the game, but I think after you've done it so many times, you're just ready to get to the max level so you can start doing raids and stuff. But I always enjoyed leveling, especially like leveling up with a partner or with a group, just running dungeons over and over again. trying to get better items and upgrades. It's a lot of fun because even if something drops that your character can't use, if it's an upgrade for someone in your group, it still feels good. It's nice to see people get stuff that they can use and stuff that they get really excited for. I think the orb we need is over there, so I'm gonna see if I can get over there without having to fight a bunch of stuff. So we're gonna pull both of these. And we're gonna try to kill the feral tender first because I think that's the one that casts renew and that can heal. Yep, got that guy. And we'll finish off the tender. I remember when the Burning Crusade expansion was first announced, I may die here. I remember seeing beta footage from BlizzCon of Blood Elves like just leveling up for people that had made them at BlizzCon. And I remember being so excited because of the Blood Elf casting animations looked so cool. And I thought it was great that the Horde finally had like an elven race. And I remember people used to always make jokes about, how the Horde was finally getting a pretty race, since most of the races that they had were, you had orcs and Tauren and undead and trolls, so not necessarily like monster races, but very different from the Alliance. So a lot of people would tease, Blood Elves being a pretty race for the Horde, which was true, and it was much needed. So, and then when the Draenei joined the Alliance, it finally gave them kind of like a more monstrous looking race, as opposed to, all the humanoid looking races. So that was really nice. So we mana tapped our last creature, and we're going to finish him all. And since we're over here, we can turn in all of these quests. Nothing in here. I think it's the guy up top. Level 3. New gloves. Arcanist Ithanas. Arcane Sliver. Daylight Cloak. And a buff. Fortitude of the Sindori. Increases stamina and spirit by 5. Very nice. Thirst Unending. Striding Pants. And we'll sell the stuff that we don't need. I like to keep my bags nice and tidy. Alright, everyone. I think we're going to call it right here for now. But thanks for joining me on the first few levels.